Hello, my little ninjas. My name's Mike. This is my YouTube page, Mox News. Thanks so much for tuning in, and welcome to your Wake and Bake News at 7 p.m. I'm your host, Moxie. Hope you're all doing well and having a wonderful Cinco de Mayo. I'm having a lot of sinus pressure right now. I got a lot of pressure in my head. The cherry blossoms are fully in bloom here. They're just like, it's like snowing everywhere you go, and it's cherry blossom flowers, petals, and it's killing me right now. So I don't have a lot prepared for you. I just couldn't sit in front of the computer today. Um, but I know that a lot of you have not been able to leave the side of the computer today, watching the DOG skyrocket to the moon. And so I wanted to put that up so you don't have to go and look somewhere else and be like, oh, what's going on with my DOGs? Um, because they're right there. You can see exactly what's going on. You don't have to worry. This is a call-in show. As I said, I don't have a lot prepared for you this evening, but if you'd like to call, we can go ahead and do that. Hi, Jackie Cat. If you'd like to call, you can go ahead and do that, and I'd love to have a conversation about with you. You can talk about the DOGs or the crypto, whatever you like, or la 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 la. Or we can talk about Liz Cheney and war profiteers. See, the thing about Liz Cheney, I knew that everyone would be talking about her today, and that's why I titled the show what I did 2 days ago, because I've talked about Liz Cheney many times on this show. And I see Liz Cheney saying stuff like, oh, you can't let Donald Trump back on social media because, there's a chance that he could cause violence, right? Meanwhile, her father, while in the White House, basically the vice president, if not the president, basically Dick Cheney's White House, her father, lied. They worked with the Pentagon to fabricate lies in which led the American people into a war in Iraq based on lies in which we killed 1 million innocent Iraqis, and every single one of them that we killed, Liz Cheney profited off of. And I want to be, to understand who Liz Cheney is, you have to consider the reality of the facts. Liz Cheney is most likely the single sitting member of Congress who has profiteered the most off of the events of 9/11. That's who Liz Cheney is. That's where we start. If you really want to know Liz Cheney, that's your basic starting platform from there. Okay? The single sitting member of Congress who has profiteered the most off of the events of 9/11. Okay, you start there. That's who Liz Cheney is. And then you hear this shit about, oh, Donald Trump having a voice on Facebook could cause violence. Well, your dad killed 1 million innocent Iraqis. Does that count as violence? How about the thousands and thousands of U.S. soldiers that died because of your dad wanting to go to war in Iraq so that you could make money off of every single one of their deaths? How about that, Liz Cheney? That's who Liz Cheney is. That's who her family is. Again, Liz Cheney, her entire scumbag family belong in prison, not as some kind of leadership role in Congress. Okay, enough. Not that anybody else in Congress is a whole lot different, but their fathers, while having the White House, while being in charge of commander in chief, the other profiteers in the Congress, they didn't they weren't the ones that led us based on lies into a war in Iraq. They had a lot to do with keeping us in a war in Iraq. They made money off, and this is the real problem. It's not so much that Dick Cheney and Liz Cheney led us into a war in Iraq for profit as the real thing that I have, because there's a lot of people who are war profiteers, and I think many of them just don't even know that that's the truth. People who own Boeing stock and stuff like that. I don't think they get that they're, profiting off war. But people like Liz Cheney, right? Her father lied to get us in a war in Iraq. Thousands of U.S. soldiers died. How many more have committed suicide? How many more were maimed and injured for life? That's who Dick Cheney is. And they profited. Liz Cheney profited off every single one of those people. Not only, soldiers' deaths. That's who she is. The point is, and 1 million innocent Iraqis. She profited off of every single one of their deaths. The point is that being a member of Congress, she could stop. She could speak out against the war in Iraq, but instead she votes for it, she votes for it, she votes for it, and then makes a profit off of it. Okay? Those people, Dick Cheney, her, people who do shit like that, start a war and then vote to keep the war going so that they can make money off of it, those people are worse than pedophiles. Okay? Pedophiles generally just have sex with children. Not just, but these people blow children into 1 million pieces. Right? The most heinous death you can think of. And the only reason that they do it is to make money. Okay? So if you don't think they belong in jail, I don't know what's wrong with you. But it's pretty obvious to anybody who's keeping track. So, that being said, Liz Cheney and her entire scumbag family absolutely do belong in prison for the rest of their lives. All their assets seized, their grandchildren having to live destitute and in shame for what the people of their family did. And this is the only way we ever get better government, is if we send these people who must go to prison. They committed murder in your name with your tax dollars so that they could sell $800 hammers, $1,200 toilet seats, and profit off of it, gouging the American people again and again and again. You guys have all heard about this shit, $1,000 fucking hammers and $1,200 toilet seats. You know exactly what it is I'm talking about. This is how the people like Dick Cheney and Liz Cheney. Again, a lot of people, I believe, war profiteer without knowing that's what they're doing. Okay? But Dick Cheney and Liz Cheney, they know exactly what they're doing. Members of Congress who vote to keep wars going forever, they know what they're doing. They know that they're buying $800 hammers. They know that they're buying $1,200 toilet seats. And why wouldn't they speak out about that and do their job when it comes to gouging the American people like that? Because they're the ones profiting off of it. Okay? So all of these people are completely fucking disgusting. Beyond disgusting scumbags. They have to go to prison. Number one, if you ever want to get a better government. Number two, if you want our soldiers protected and cherished the way that you seem to want, then this is not... Liz Cheney and Dick Cheney have, if you count suicide, have killed so many of our people. And why? So that they could make money. They used our soldiers, made them die, put them in horrible positions of, just horrible conditions. Worst you can possibly imagine. Worse than prison. And why would they do that? So that they could make money. If you don't think that these people are a danger to all of us, you're really just not paying attention. So that's your business. To pay attention or not to pay attention, not to care about, And this is the thing. They're talking about, Liz Cheney can't be in a position of power anymore because she talked out about dickhole, you know, and who cares about that? She's profiting off of people's deaths, children's deaths, our soldiers' deaths. This should matter more than anything. People should not make a profit off of that. Anybody who's profiteering off of our soldiers' deaths or little children being blown to a million pieces, you know, oh, we can't have abortion. It's so violent. If people knew how violent abortions are, you know, blah, 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 they would want us to stick their nose in their most private business. Right? Because we know what matters and what's good for the planet. Where are these people not speaking out against war? How can the, you know, anti-choice people, because we don't want you to have choice in anything. We're the boss of you. We say what you can and can't do. How can these anti-choice people that are so against babies being ripped apart when they're in private situations where, you know, people are having to make a decision that's like the hardest decision they ever made, you know, it's going to scar them for life. And then you think you can give them guilt trips on top of it. Meanwhile, Liz Cheney is making a profit blowing little children into a million pieces. Okay? But where is that on the scumbag Liz Cheney and her scumbag families? Where's all you pro-lifers on that shit? Because I don't hear you saying a fucking thing. I don't hear a whisper. What the fuck is wrong with you? You know, why you gotta stick your noses up women's cooches with the toughest decision they ever have to make, but you don't give a shit when Liz Cheney is profiting off of murdering little children by blowing them into a million pieces. Oh yeah, abortion's horrible. With your tax dollars in your name. And you don't give a fuck. Right? What's up, sheep herder? I agree. Legacy candidates are fucking bullshit. Okay? It's like, oh, my daddy had this job, and now I have this job. And I'm just as stupid and fucked up as my daddy was. Not to, I apologize to our Southern brothers and sisters, our Southern brothers and sister ninjas. I don't know how that got. It's this slow drawl thing, you know. I'm not saying that those people are, you know, any less intelligent than anyone else. What I'm saying is, and again, this is this drawl thing. It seems to have more support. Oh, we love our police, you know. Oh, you got to stick with the military. You know, I stand with the soldiers who are getting raped by people like Liz Cheney and Dick Cheney. I stand with those people. They deserve better. I say this all the time. You deserve better. We deserve better. Your children deserve better. The children of Iraq deserve better than scumbags like Liz Cheney. Scumbags like Liz Cheney must go to prison. They're murdering innocent people for profit. It doesn't get any scummier than that. Okay? Again, pedophiles are less scummy than Liz Cheney. Probably a pedophile on top of it. But they're less, even if you're not, they're less scummy than Liz Cheney. And I don't know why anybody can't see that. She's a member of Congress. She murders little children for money. And she votes again and again and again to continue to murder little children so that her and her family can be the biggest profiteers off of the events of 9/11. Oh yeah, we got to worry about abortions. Are you serious? Are you serious? Because I don't even begin to get it. You know, I despise Liz Cheney. I despise her entire family. I despise George Bush. I despise their entire family. I despise Barack Obama. I don't necessarily despise his entire family. They kind of seem like some of them might be nice. But Barack Obama is a huge piece of shit. And Joe Biden is even worse than Barack Obama. So I despise Joe Biden. I despise Donald Trump. I despise Mike Pence. Mike Pence is one of these guys who helped lead us into war in Iraq and then continued to vote, even after everyone knew that the war was based on complete and utter lies. How many people in Congress continued to vote and vote and vote to keep that going? Knowing that the Pentagon lied us into a war. The Pentagon did that purposefully. All of our leadership did that personally. The members of Congress, Hillary Clinton, Joe Biden, they led us into war they know was based on lies. Why? Because people like Dick Cheney and Liz Cheney, even if not themselves, profit big time off of war. And people who profit big time off of war own politicians. As Donald Trump said before he became president, I own a couple myself. You get what I'm saying? So these people are voting for rich people to make money murdering little children. It just, it's like I can feel it at my core. What kind of horrible human beings could possibly be like that? And then to know that they're representing the good people of America, of these United States. We the people. I mean, I don't know who you are, but murdering innocent children by blowing them into a million pieces so that people like Dick Cheney and Liz Cheney and other rich pieces of shit can make a shiny penny, I don't want those people representing us. I feel disgusted that those are the people that represent the good people of these United States. And I think we should all be disgusted to our cores. Because that's how I feel. I feel disgusted to my core. Like, I just want to vomit until I die. Because I don't want these people representing me. And if we're not going to put them in prison, we're never going to get any better representation at all. And if that's what the future holds, I just as soon vomit until I die. And again, I don't know how you can allow stuff like this for your children. So I'm going to play a quick video and I'll be right back and see if there's any callers. Give me just a minute.
Sometimes life can be a little overwhelming. Sometimes the weight of the world can be too much to bear. Sometimes you need to stop worrying and take a deep breath. Sometimes you need cannabis. Introducing Brightside, high-quality cannabis delivered right to your door. Brightside offers an extensive menu of strains and products to meet your needs. Choose the experience you want, and we'll send you the dankest herb, the real sticky icky, some top-shelf marijuana. If you like what we send you, keep the whole jar. We'll even include some nugs for you to blaze. As part of Discovery, you'll get to try new strains and products. Side effects may include euphoria, increased appetite, uncontrollable giggles, elevated sensitivity to musical dopeness, and reduced anxiety. Tetrahydrocannabinol may also induce feelings of existential well-being and relentless optimism. With a Brightside subscription, you can get it once a month, once a week, or whenever you want, all at a price you'll like. And yes, this is a real company. Ask your doctor if cannabis is right for you. It probably is. Keep it Brightside.
I'm gonna keep it on the crypto watch so you guys don't have to go, where's my DOG's at? I gotta see what the GOG's at. It's right there. You can see it. And you can see the phone number, right? I don't know if you can see the phone number. You know why I can't tell if you see the phone number or not? Because no one's calling! So if you want to call, the number's right there, 805-669-6397. And that being said, I'm not going to run this show real long if we don't get some calls because, I didn't put together any videos for you tonight. I just am having a really difficult time sitting in front of the computer today. Have a tremendous sinus pressure, which it feels like it's right behind my eyes, and it's making things uncomfortable, to say the least. So, that being said, I want to come out here. I want to say hello, my little ninjas, and happy Cinco de Mayo. That being said, if you want to call, the number's right there on the screen. I really don't have any more videos for you today. So, I knew everyone would be talking about Liz Cheney today. I could tell that was going to be the... hello?
Ladies and gentlemen, Steve McClanahan reporting for Mox News. No, it's not. It's actually Craig, but I had to do that. Don't forget, we do have that one video that I want to remind you
yeah,
about.
Yeah, no, I remember. I was going to save that for tomorrow, probably.
Oh, I also got a really good dog story, too, if you want. It's a cool video about a dog that couldn't be adopted, and finally someone came along and adopted him. It's it's more of a heartwarming story, kind of for a night like tonight when there's not a lot of other good news and not a lot of good callers. So,
yeah,
people aren't going to call. I'm sitting here waiting for your calls, but, we can just sit here and Mike can smoke dabs and...
No, we're not going to do that. We're not going to do that. I got to go to the grocery store, and if you guys aren't going to call, we're not going to do this very long. I don't have videos prepared. We'll play the doggy video tomorrow. But until...
And shout out to our lucky winner. We still had the Domino's coupon. We got to get it out to another Florida person besides Jackie Cat. So big ups to Florida for our viewing audience down there.
Yeah.
Anyway... Jackie
Cat already got her gift card. We don't. I don't need
a gift card.
Yeah, I don't need any videos. I'm not gonna. I'm just waiting for phone callers. If there's no phone callers, we're gonna head up and do something else. All right.
Okay.
All right.
Well, big ups to Jackie Cat. Enjoy your planting and your gardening. It should be fun.
Your gift card.
Oh, we got a call coming through.
Okay.
Oh my God! I think it's the landlord. I'll be back with you in a minute.
I hope you enjoy your gift card. If you'd like another gift card, let me know. You got neighbors. I bet they'll enjoy your gift card too. The Wizard. You know who I am? The Wizard. Hello?
Hello?
What's happening?
Hello?
You have a major echo in the background.
Oh, sorry. This is my first time calling.
Uh-huh.
And I just was so happy that Cinco de Mayo, and it's a lovely 90-degree day in California. Fucking hot.
That's hot, man.
Yeah, very hot. I still got time to go out and plant another plant before the sun goes down.
Did that come out of did the 90 degrees come out of nowhere, or has it been moving up towards that?
It got 100 3 days ago, and now it's cooling down to 90.
Damn, dude, that's freaking hot.
Yeah, and it's planting season, so I got all my babies crying to go into the ground, and that means I got mountains of soil to turn. And
how many babies do you have?
Probably about 110.
Right on. That seems like a little bit smaller crop for you than usual, doesn't it?
No. Usually I end up with 100.
Oh, I thought you were doing like 250.
No, that's a 250. Fuck, I can't even imagine what fucking 250. That's twice the labor I used to do.
It means you'll be trimming until the next crop is ready to start.
But I met a nice
nice young man who volunteered to trim because it's such a wonderful thing to do, and he's pretty cool. I met him at the store, and it's just, you know, sometimes you meet people. And
Yeah.
He wanted to bum a cigarette off me, and so before I gave him a cigarette, I said, "What do you do?" And, you know, I started asking him questions and shit, and then turns out he's like a microdoser, and he has a real nice little girlfriend, and his dad's in the process of dying, but he's into Hinduism, and so he's kind of young and stupid and all over the place, but he's inquisitive and curious, and he's got a good heart, and he's going through some shit. So
aren't we all?
I look at my life and, you know, all the pain and sorrow that I've had to go through, and then I realize, oh fuck, other people, even young people, have it way worse than me, man. Especially the young people, because they have limited opportunities now that the world has gone to hell in a handbasket, and I hate to be negative. There's good things happening too, and we'll see what happens. But
Well, it seems like you planting 100 plants is a good thing.
yeah, it keeps me busy. I got a couple drunks downstairs I got to get rid of, and they're driving me fucking crazy. But at least they're downstairs and out of sight. And except, you know, everybody's got fucking problems.
You say drunks? Drunks?
Drunks, like alcoholics.
Huh.
So
How's the Filipino girlfriend?
she is almost on her way. She's at the American Embassy, and the house should be sold there at the end of the month. And I got to get rid of all the fucking riffraff around here, and I'm looking at an ETA of about 3 months before she gets her visas, and I get this place cleaned up, and we get some cheap tickets and stuff like that.
And
you know?
she likes the ganja?
She said her dad used to smoke ganja, and she doesn't mind me smoking. She likes it when I make money, and
I bet. Filipino girls are kind of funny that way.
she likes it when where'd you get the money? I sold some weed. Oh, thank you. I love you. So, yeah, but, you know, so I filled the whole place up with people. I rented out some rooms that I don't normally rent out, and just to increase the income. And
Is that where the drunks came from?
yeah, so you know, nonetheless, despite me and my somebody should make a movie about a landlord that rents out rooms and has all kinds of weird fucking relationships with weird fucking people. Maybe they already did, and I just don't know it.
It sounds like there's a lot of movies like that to me, but I'm not sure.
Well, it should be like Hotel or something like that, you know.
A lot of times it's like psychos, you know, that want to kill you after they move in and shit like that.
No, on this property, the landlord's a psycho. But he's just really intelligent and well-armed, and he's careful about who he never rents to another alpha dog. He's always on the look for other alpha dogs, because they're the real trouble.
It depends. There's a lot of alpha dogs that just don't give a fuck.
Everybody thinks they're an alpha dog until they meet a wolf, and that's the law of the land, man. You know, you know. But my point is, you know, I gotta get rid of some people before I bring my honey back here.
Sounds like it.
Enormous culture shock, and then I'll be a dad again, and a husband.
Oh, you got babies you're coming with her?
A little 14-year-old hottie that is dumb as a bag of rocks, but it's got a good heart, you know.
You're not supposed to talk about 14-year-olds like that, so you know.
Oh man, I've had to bail her out of jail twice already. And you know what she got arrested for?
You are seriously looking for trouble, man.
Yeah, I know, but it's a risk. It's a spiritual risk. But she got arrested for walking outdoors without a mask after curfew.
Wow.
Twice.
Well, that
So,
seems like a pretty fucking lame reason for someone to arrest you.
well, we're talking the Philippines, man. In the Philippines, it's like
Oh, that's
know,
Duarte, right?
Duterte, yeah.
Yeah, that piece of shit. They'll shoot you in the fucking head in the middle of the street if you have a joint on you.
Yeah, like my fiance's father was killed. Who he smoked marijuana in the Philippines.
Yeah.
He was killed at a funeral by his brother. Apparently, he went to a funeral, got in an argument with his brother, and his brother killed him at the funeral.
Wow.
So that's a story I haven't lived through or really heard of much, but
That's a movie right there.
Yeah, well, what that is a dysfunctional family. That I think the dad, my honey's dad, was probably the good guy because he smoked weed and he was mellow. And the brother, there was some kind of dysfunction. I don't know the details of what they were arguing about or whatever, but yeah, man, in the Philippines, they're suffering. It's humid weather there. It's dry weather here. So I'm wondering what that kind of adjustment will be, because I prefer dry weather. And they don't really know what dry weather is.
Right.
Desert weather, that's what we got in California. It's a desert.
Yep.
So and up there, I bet, I think I just heard you say it's 75 and a nice day, right?
It's a little colder than that. I think it's about 68, maybe 66 today.
Well, that's good weather. That's good weather.
I don't have a problem with it. It's actually, I keep having to take my hoodie off when we go out. I'm having to carry a backpack with me because I'll be walking down the street and I'm like, fuck, I can't have this thing on anymore. But again, that's at like 70 degrees. I can't wear a hoodie, so.
Yeah, it's funny because I bundle up in the winter when it's cold, and then I just wear shorts and T-shirts at this time of year when it's hot, and I just adjust. And everybody else is whining about their air conditioners and their heaters and
heaters.
Yeah, when it's cold, I want a heater, and then when it's hot, I want an air conditioner. And I happen to have a spare, about 8 spare heaters and 3 spare air conditioners. But of course, I pay the fucking bills, so I don't give them out. You know? So I mean, my electric bill is $400 a month.
That's are you running lights?
Right now I am just greening lights, on a 24-hour cycle.
Fluorescence or something?
Yeah, fluorescence.
Yeah.
Just for, trick them into thinking it's the middle of summer. Because you can, here, you can plant till mid-June.
Yeah.
And your plants will do just as good if you get them in the ground on June 20th as if you got them in the ground on April 20th.
By just as good, you mean produce the same yield?
Yeah, because they really grow when the soil heats up. That's when, and that's in the middle of June.
Yeah, I keep waiting. It's like the low temperature here right now is like consistently 47, 46, and it seems like that's just a little low to me. But when do you harvest if you get them in the ground now?
October, November, depending on
November,
rain.
holy shit, November, wow.
Yeah, the beginning of November, depending on rain, because you don't want, you can get one, maybe even 2 light rains, but one heavy rain will fuck you up good.
Yeah.
So, I've had to have 5 guys cutting my entire crop down and dragging them into sheds and trailers with the fans on. It's like fucking, hey, just hang them up and turn the fans on, It's
yeah.
That's the dangers of being an outdoor grower. But I think people are coming to like outdoor weed more than indoor weed. They can taste the difference. If you're a decent grower and you care about the people that are going to be smoking your weed, you're going to flush your weed from all the chemicals really good, and hardly anybody does that.
You use chemicals or you use
No, I don't use any chemicals, but most people do.
Yeah, but if you use guanos and stuff like that, or
yeah, I use all organic stuff, guanos,
And do you still have to flush that?
No, the guano is just fucking nitrogen, and that'll all be burned out by the end of the season. But
No, but I mean, if you like, I feed him a tea outdoors that has guano and kelp and fish bones and crab shells, and I don't know if that needs to be flushed or not. Do you think that needs to be flushed?
no, that there's nothing really high phosphorus in that mixture. But if you go to your grocery store and you get Mr. Giant Bloom or something like that,
yeah.
it's got every fucking chemical in the world.
Yeah.
And they're not organic compounds. They're
No.
chemical compounds.
They might even say organic, but they're not, or have organic in the name. I have a synthetic nutrient line that has organic in the name, but they're not that.
Yeah, well, it's the same thing with food. You got to pay $10,000 or $100,000 to get an organic inspector and an organic stamp on your biscuit. That's organic biscuit. And if you don't pay that money to the government to get an organic stamp, then you can't call it organic. You got to call it something else. So it's all a game. Just like the Superfund doesn't clean anything up. And there really is no military intelligence. It's everything's misnamed, and you got a president, Mr. Smiley, good guy. He's our president now, and he's not really a good guy. He just smiles, So
He looks like a fucking jack-o'-lantern, man. It's disgusting.
Yeah, basically, I elect Mr. Pumpkinhead before Trump or Biden. Or AOC, for that matter. And some of the worst ones, Maxine Waters, and what's the bitch that's the Speaker of the House? Pelosi. It's like everybody's a nut job.
What about the bitch that's the leader of the Senate?
Right, yeah, Speaker.
McConnell, Mitch McConnell.
Okay. Well, Mitch McConnell is a fucking psychopathic turtle.
Bitch.
And
yeah.
Nancy Pelosi is like very closely related to the Wicked Witch of the West. And Maxine Waters is she's the mother of the trolls that jump out at you from under every bridge you cross. It's like, jump out at you. They're all fakes, and that's what I hate about the world is everybody's faking it, and so but all the politicians for sure. I don't think everybody's faking it in the world. Most people are in denial about the areas of life they got to work on. Like me, I'm a smoke like a chimney. I got to stop.
Huh.
What if I was in denial about that?
It's not me. It's not me. Little Debbie's trying to kill me. It's not me. I'm telling you, everywhere I go, there she is. She's trying to kill me.
Yeah. I did see an interesting story on, maybe I don't know, you tell me if it was on your show or somewhere else. It was about mind weapons.
Yeah, I was here.
That was there?
Yeah.
Well, I've known about mind weapons. I think I was told that every president since Bush Sr. wears a low-frequency electromagnetic field generator underneath their collar to protect them from mind weapons, because these are real things and every fucking government knows about it. And I'm glad to see it coming out on the news, because they, the best weapon is an invisible weapon that just, well, let's fuck this guy up. Maybe that's why. It's probably not why Biden is so stupid. He's just.
But I mean, can't they load that into space and hit a whole country with it or something?
I'm not sure if that's. I think it's less easily detectable if you're just picking on some people. Then about the targeted individual.
Yeah.
You ever heard? Yeah. Well, I've been going back and forth between how many of these people are actually under attack from their government, and how many of them are just psychotic and they think they're under attack. And so I talked to a lot of those people over the last decade, and I'm not quite sure what to think of it. I feel sorry for them. Either way, if you think you're under attack, or if you actually are under attack, or somebody's following you, or the Men in Black are are, you know, following you, or they're
Well,
putting things in your mailbox, you know.
if you think that your head's not working properly, you know, people should have some kind of compassion for you. I mean, you know.
But it's interesting because they, whoever they are, the governments, they have weapons that really aren't, the knowledge of isn't out into the public yet. So that was a good story. I wish you'd play it again. Find it and play it again. I'd like to see it.
I might still have it in the lineup, but I don't think so. I'll look.
And that's very unique that anybody would play it. That was Como or King 5? What station did you
I'm
get
pretty
those?
sure it was Como. I think that was the one we were playing the other night, and I was saying that there's some kind of a pop-up coming up that says a stream might be interrupted because of copyright issues.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Oh.
and because after the show, I saw that there was a copyright thing that said Sinclair Broadcasting, and so I'm pretty sure it was that clip. In fact, I know it was that clip because they show you right where it is in the show. So I looked at it and it was that clip. And so that's Como News. It's NBC News is what that is. The Como News was the ones who played it. I don't know if it was being played on other NBC News or not. I'm pretty sure.
That was a good story. And
Yeah.
It's a very interesting story, and unfortunately, I think it's a true story.
Yeah.
There was Operation Peckerwood or something like that the Russians were sending this knocking noise into Oregon in the 1970s. Does that ring any bells?
It kind of does.
I'm sure it wasn't Mockingbird or Peckerwood, but it was something like that, where they've been experimenting with this shit for 50 years, man. I think even the Nazis had a lot of the shit wired, and then I forget the operation where they brought all the Nazi soldiers into the U.S., you know, but they brought all those kooky fucking soldiers here because they had all kinds of goodies that they knew how to do that we didn't.
Yeah.
And now it's 2021, and there's this giant virus, and it's mutated, and I got like a third nose. Oh, speaking of the virus, I'm pretty sure, I'm hearing a lot of stories that shedding is going on. People that, because the spike protein bonds, which is in
I
these
can't talk about that right now. We got like a medical thing that said the other day, it's like, your show is medical misinforming people, and they gave us a guidelines violation, and we have to be really careful about what we talk about when it comes to that stuff. So.
Well, you know, that's probably because you're endangering people's lives, Michael.
That's what they said. Yeah, the medical misinformation endangers people's lives.
Well, if you can't talk about it, then it's probably true.
Well, yeah, right. Like, you know, what's next? We can't talk about police officers who fucking murder people by shooting them in the back when they're holding a ballpoint pen, because
you can't talk about that, Mike. That's against the United States government. Don't be talking about that shit.
It might cause violence. That's why Donald Trump isn't on Facebook anymore, because he might cause violence with what he says. Unlike Liz Cheney, who murdered 1 million people and profits off it, that's not violence.
All cops are beautiful, Michael. All cops are beautiful, and
is that what that stands for? I was getting it wrong. Shit.
They're lovely and they're gentle, and they have the highest IQs. They have super high IQs, and they're just like Boy Scouts. They help you, old ladies across the street.
As long as they don't have dementia.
Yeah, well, I did hear some chick up in your neck of the woods is kind of in trouble with both sides of the street. I heard that yesterday, I think. The police captain, or whatever her
the sheriff, yeah.
The sheriff, yeah.
Yeah.
But,
She's,
I don't know, man.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm feeling that the world is a little bit fucked up, and so my number one message for people, if they're capable of hearing, if they're not drug addicts or alcoholics, it's like, don't lose faith and keep trying, and try to hold your own weight. That's the message to the alcoholics: is hold your own motherfucking weight, man. Don't ask me to hold it for you. But other than that, Planet Earth is a great place, and there's a lot of good people here, and things are getting better at the same rate they're getting more fucked up. So it's a really confusing time. Hold your mental ground. I think that's commandment number one for humans right now is hold your mental ground. Don't back down from the insanity, and don't say everything's okay when it's not.
I don't say everything's okay ever.
No. Yeah. Well, I'm not talking to you, but I meet a lot of people that think everything's okay and it was all Trump's fault, and now that
That's
the new
so
age-
weird, isn't it? That they want to blame this one person on all this shit that's been going on for the last 20 years since
Right,
9/11. It's like Trump caused 9/11.
Well, Trump falls into this, basically the same category as Amy Goodman, who was at Building 7 when it fell, and you could dig up footage on that. So, they're both in denial, man. How can you call yourself a progressive journalist, Amy Good fuck, if you're in denial about what you saw with your own fucking eyes and what people have been? There must be 1,000 people who sent Amy Goodman videos and information.
Yeah. No,
thesis.
they get for a long time they would get 1,000 emails a day about that shit, and every sitting member of Congress is the same. 1,000 emails a day about the events of 9/11, and why won't anybody give us an honest fucking investigation? Go ahead.
Yeah, and somebody ought to put a compilation film together of all the people that have called into C-SPAN over the last 20 years.
Yeah.
9/11 was an inside job,
Yeah.
and stuff like that. There's got to be. I've seen at least 5 of them myself. That means there's got to be at least 15 of them, because I don't watch C-SPAN. But it's weird. They just let all this shit go, and then expect the world to change. Well, there never really was slavery, or there never really were lynchings, or, it's all Trump's fault, or, but Osama bin Laden this, and yellow cake uranium from Africa, and all the, just so much bullshit. The world is filled with bullshit. And you don't want to go too far to the other side where Jesus is coming, he's going to save us from the devils in the tunnels with the underground children, and my Jesus is my Lord and Savior. And no, man, we got to do it ourselves.
Yeah, that's the way I see God, is people pray to God to help them or whatever, and God sees it like, hey, I gave you everything you need. You have absolutely everything you need. Why are you asking me for more? I don't understand.
Yeah, this is very true, and we all got to, myself very much, I'm very blessed. I try to keep my shit together, and I try to make some bank if I can.
How many DOGs do you have?
The Doge, he was the ruler of Venice, right? Wasn't that the Doge?
Is that right? I don't know.
Yeah, I think the Doge was the ruler of Venice. Venice was excommunicated by the Catholic Church in the 16th century, and it still is, actually. The entire city was excommunicated because they were fornicating too much.
They're party people, man. Hey, if your city was built on water, you might want to get a little while you still can too.
Yeah, and apparently they have this big party called Carnival where everybody kind of wears a mask and screws anybody they want.
Orgy, baby! Orgy!
And the Doge, he rules over all of that, over Carnival. And, do you know, Michael, by chance, do you know what the Bridge of Sighs is?
No.
You know Robin Trower, the album Bridge of Sighs?
I know Robin Trower, but I don't know that's an album is what you're saying, right? I don't know.
Yeah, that's the title track off an album. It's probably his number one song,
So I probably know it then.
Oh, yeah. Great guitar sounds,
Yeah.
But the Bridge of Sighs is actually a real bridge, I think in Venice, that it would go from the city to tower where people were imprisoned, and then the relatives of the prisoners, they would all be sighing, and so people use that as a metaphor for great suffering. I think the Bridge of Sighs is a metaphor for great suffering. So I didn't know that till maybe 10 years ago, and but yeah, just re-listen to Robin Trower, Bridge of Sighs, and the main line in that song would be, "It's been a long time crossing the Bridge of Sighs." And so it's a great tribulation and a lot of injustice and great sorrow, and innocent people are being thrown into jail, and it all comes from Venice, which is a pretty important city historically. But I got to go turn my lights on outside, Michael. I'm glad to talk to you. And
yeah, it's good to hear from you, man.
So, if you can't dig up that mind control weapon video, forget about it, but I'd like to see it again.
Okay, well, the thing is it had that copyright issue, and I don't, so I probably am not going to play it again. But
Okay.
I can send it to you in email or something if you want.
Okay, cool. Maybe, I don't think I subscribed to Como, but they got their own YouTube channel, right?
I don't know about YouTube, but they have their own .com.
Huh. Okay. All right. Take care, bro. Be
Okay,
healthy.
it's good to hear from you.
Take care.
See ya. That's our buddy Mike from Southern California. Everybody calls him the landlord because he has renters. Okay, so I don't really have any videos for you tonight. As I was saying, I'm having a lot of sinus issue. All the cherry blossoms are in bloom, and it's making a lot of sinus pressure in my head. So, if anybody wants to call, the number's right there on the screen. Otherwise, I don't really have any videos because I haven't been able to sit in front of the computer today. It's just something to do with the light. Like the light even in here makes my eyes feel like they have more pressure than they need. Although we did have a nice walk, although that may be partially where I got all the pollen from. Just cherry blossom petals flowing out. I'm thinking certain parts of the walk, it just looks like it's snowing. They're just like cherry petals everywhere. I just found like the biggest cherry tree in our neighborhood too. I don't know if I've ever seen a cherry tree bigger than this one. It lives a couple blocks from here. That was pretty cool. There goes the Diogi. Up to the moon, baby. Skyrocketing straight to the moon. So, got that going for it. Oh, and by the way, the Tron right there at number 12, if you all had bought it, when I said it's all about the Trons, baby, it was 4.5 or whatever. You'd be triple your money right now. So, it's all about the Trons, baby. Got to have that long-term mindset. I'm telling you. One of these days, I'm going to wake up and it's going to say $85. And then you all be like, Mike is a fucking genius. No, you probably won't do that. Lucky, lucky, lucky. Mike is so lucky. No, Mike told you about this a long, long time ago. That being said, if you want to call, now's the time because I don't have any videos and I really can't take a bong hit right now because my head just doesn't feel right. So if you want to call, you can. Otherwise, I'm pretty much out of here tonight. Thanks so much for tuning in. I just wanted to touch bases with you guys. It was nice to hear from the landlord. But I wanted to touch bases with you guys because I had a video posted and it's Cinco de Mayo. I want to say happy Cinco de Mayo to everyone. And just kind of give you my opinion of Liz Cheney. Not that I haven't before, but everybody's talking about her, especially like in the media. They're talking about her like somehow she's kind of a saint Oh my God, how can these people be looking at Liz Cheney? And she's not. She's worse than pedophile. Okay? She profits by murdering little children. All you pro-lifers should be outraged by this. Not only does she profit by it, by being a war profiteer, she votes again and again and again to keep the wars going as long as possible. So she's spending your money on $800 hammers, $1,200 toilet seats, and then profiting off of it. Profiting off the murder of little children, profiting off the murder of 1 million innocent Iraqis, profiting off the deaths and maiming of our brothers and sisters that were sent over there to kill because Dick Cheney and Liz Cheney needed another shiny penny. All the shiny pennies that they already had just wasn't enough. So we're going to go put your sons and daughters, your brothers and sisters, your mothers and fathers into harm's way based on lies so that we can make money. Oh, but Liz Cheney's a fucking saint. How can anybody be speaking out against Liz Cheney? That's what the mainstream media is right now. They also led us into war so that they can make money. This is again what I keep talking about all the pillars of our community. The media, you turn to the news so you know what's happening in the world. The media, the politicians, you turn to the politicians to say, hey, we can have a better world like this. You're supposed to represent us. Listen to what I'm telling you. 9/11 was an inside job. Buildings don't fall straight down into their own footprint. All these fucking things don't add up. How come you don't care? Oh, right, because we have to go to Iraq and murder 1 million innocent people with your tax dollars in your name, so that Dick Cheney and Liz Cheney can make another shiny penny. That's what I think about Liz Cheney. She belongs in prison with the rest of her scumbag family. War profiteering scumbag family for the rest of her life, seizing all their assets, every single piece of property and penny they have. Everything. Making their families live in destitute and in shame. That's what every single member of Congress, every single member of the White House, every single person, member of the media who helped make the Iraq war happen. And my bet is the vast majority of them profited off of it, which makes them even worse people than liars who killed 1 million innocent Iraqis. They also made a profit off of it. So you should despise those people just as much as me, and I'm sure many, many of you do. That being said, thanks so much for tuning in. We do this every Monday through Friday at 7 p.m. Pacific time, which means we'll be back tomorrow night. Same Mox time, same Mox channel, and I'll be a little more prepared then. Until then, stay cool, because one of these days, this war is going to end. Stay cool till then.
No matter which mouth you feed on a two-headed snake, it still shits the same turd. But lucky for you, you have Mox News. More than 10 years. More than 60,000 videos. Mox News has been filtering the nonsense and illuminating the bullshit from your mainstream media. Turn off your TV and turn on to Mox News. For over a decade, documenting the socio-political events that have etched and carved the pathways that define today's modern mess, Mox News has been providing clarity while faithfully bringing you today's relevant stories 100% commercial-free and subscription-free. And just like Lady Liberty vows to remain free. But at this time, we're asking you for your help, your patronage, and your support to keep the lights on and the videos rolling. For less than 17 cents per day, You can become a basic subscriber, knowing that your donation is truly making a difference that will help continue bringing the news stories that make a difference in your life. Turn on, tune in, and drop a couple dimes today by clicking the link below or visiting moxnews.com and show your support at any level. From a single one-time donation or dedicated monthly subscriber, do it now in less than 2 minutes. All donations are safe, securely processed, and verified using PayPal, Visa, MasterCard, American Express, or Discover Card. As always, we're sure you'll find something of interest each and every day. This holiday season, give the gift of Mox. moxnews.com.
I mean, this coalition of misfits, and they cobble together and they don't attack each other, they stay united. I wish the coalition of misfits, and they cobble together and they don't attack each other, they stay united. Coalition of misfits, and they cobble together and they don't attack each other, they stay united. Coalition of misfits, and they cobble together and they don't attack each other, they stay united. Coalition of misfits, and they cobble together and they don't attack each other, they stay united. Coalition of misfits, and they cobble together and they don't attack each other, they stay united. Coalition of misfits, and they cobble together and they don't attack each other, they stay united. Coalition of misfits, and they cobble